Everything we do in life comes with opportunity cost. Me choosing to come here and share this message with you for a few minutes means I can't do the millions of other things that I could be doing. And we're talking about opportunity costs in life. Everything that we do, we think, we speak, and act. We make choices, and internally, we weigh those choices in three areas: survival, consistency, and exploration. So, survival is the main thing that our brain searches for. Everything that we do, should I go down that way? Should I go down that way? We look and we observe and we make choices based upon survival and harm and things of that nature. So it's a continual balance of the things that we choose, opportunity cost wise. Does this have a high chance of hurting me or harming me or killing me or not? And we do that automatically and quickly as we age. So everything we do or not do has opportunity cost boiled into it. So here we are in these unique times with the economic shutdown, with the COVID stuff going on and things like this. First of all, if you or anyone in your family member has been affected physically with this, to include family members passing, my sincere condolences. You know, this is real. It's real. It does impact and is not fun. I have a few friends that have it, and it's not fun to go through. But the good news is it's got a very, very high percentage of people that live, a very, very tiny percentage of people that actually die who get it. Now, you might be saying, well, Tom, I've seen it. Everybody's dying. Well, no, that's far from the case. There are people that have a higher propensity to get it at a more serious rate and possibly death. That has been proven to be the elderly or people with conditions that have their immune system down a little bit. So if that's you, obviously you're probably not out and about doing your thing because you recognize, hey, you're either up there in age or you have some pre-existing conditions that you don't want to risk that opportunity cost to get this situation. So hopefully you're making the right choice, and when you're going out, you're protecting yourself and you're taking all the precautions. But for the majority of the population, we have to think about the opportunity cost. And, not to minimize this because it's real, but this is literally like the OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, of all things that we could get. Meaning 99% plus of the people who do get it survive. Yes, there are numbers of people who are dying, but here's some other numbers. Regardless of this or any other circumstance, there's roughly 150,000 people per day who pass away from the wide variety of things, whether it's cancer, whether it's heart attack, whether it's, you name it, all of the different things. On average, there's 150,000 people who die each day. And that's the other wake-up call. None of us make it out of here alive. So we weigh the opportunity cost to hopefully make the choices that let us and allow us to live longer. And we're not out there running in the street or jumping out of buildings and things like that. We're making the proper choices. But everything is weighed with that opportunity cost. So if you are elderly or if you do have some pre-existing conditions, take extra precautions to make sure you don't get exposed to this type of stuff. But then on the other opportunity costs, I pretty much stay in. And this COVID thing and the lockdown has me focused on work. I've been getting a lot of work done, which has been a nice side benefit. But the other benefits have gone away, of the socializing, of the live events, of things of that nature. But I improvise, adapt, and overcome. So I go on morning walks and I go on evening walks. Most of the time it's me, no one's around. When they are around, they're on opposite sides of the sidewalk or streets, etc. So it's not that we're in range of spreading anything, either them to me or me to them. Similar to someone posed a question, a good friend posed a question, well, aren't you, because I don't wear a mask when I walk, aren't you afraid of infecting somebody? Aren't you afraid of passing it along to somebody? So, well, no, I'm not afraid because I don't have it, and B, I'm not in a high propensity area to get it transmitted to me because I'm really not out and about or intermingling with a lot of people for the most part. And C, even if I do get it, which kind of like chicken pox, it sounds to me like eventually we're all going to get it to some level or some degree. It's going to be like a flu. And from my friends who've had it, it sucks. I'm not diminishing, it sucks. Just like a flu or severe illness, it sucks to go through, but it has a 99% survival rate. I'm good with those odds. If you're going into surgery and someone says, hey, you got a 99% chance this is going to be all right, you're not going to die. Great, I like those odds. If we're talking 80%, hey, that's, it's still decent odds. We're talking, look, you got a 10% chance you're going to live. Whoa, time out. That's not too good. 99% are pretty good odds. I'll take those, right? So I'm not concerned of me getting it or me spreading it. Like I said, no, I don't worry about it. I don't lose an ounce of sleep over it, because that would be, like I said in a joke, that'd be like me afraid of passing AIDS to you when A, I don't have AIDS, and B, we don't know each other that well to where I could transmit it. Make sense? This isn't leprosy. This isn't something that spreads, thankfully, as ridiculously high percentage of leprosy. Yet a lot of people have confused the OCD nature of it. Less than 1% of people who get it die are now treating it like leprosy. And even the AIDS is a great example. Whoa, AIDS, back in the day when AIDS, I don't know if I can drink from the same cup or be around that person. No, it's a sexually transmitted disease. Unless you're having sex or exchanging blood, chances are low. Like, this is not leprosy, ladies and gentlemen. So the opportunity cost is low. The opportunity cost that is a very high one, and it's the most dangerous thing that we do as humans, is drive on the highways. The press doesn't cover the car accidents and the deaths and the serious injuries that occur, because if they put even a percentage of the attention on how many tragedies occurred in car accidents, it would put so much fear into people, into the masses, that they would be super fearful of getting on the road. Why? Because there's a valid concern of being fearful on the road. They don't want to bring any attention to it, because if they put the stats behind it, it would put so much fear. Think about this. There's 99% survival rate with this COVID thing. There's a much lower survival rate of just driving on the highways. If they were to focus on that, and they were to put every single death and every single accident, every single maiming, every single person that ended up in the hospital, it would put the fear of God into all of us about, geez, I'm like, it's worse than bungee jumping. Bungee jumping has a very low percentage of accidents. On occasion, stuff happens, but very, very low, probably the 99% rate. So you're going to bungee jump and you're going to be safe, but getting in the car and getting on the highway is not. So everything is opportunity cost. And I'm just bringing this out to put things in perspective here. And my son brought it to my attention. He's like, man, it seems like a lot of people are becoming bullies. And bullies on both sides, whether that's people who are masked and how dare anyone infect others, and they're so selfish, they want to infect everybody, and they're going to kill grandma because they're choosing not wear a mask. And the people who don't wear masks, how dare those people wear a mask? Don't they know they're being, this is all propaganda. So my kids notice, my daughter mentioned it too, the bullying that's occurring on both sides. He's like, Dad, this looks like, people just turn into bullies. So here's my stance on it. You do what you feel is right for you. I shared, on my walks, I don't wear the mask. I have a mask in my pocket for Publix. When I go into Publix, I'll put that on. When I go into other establishments, I'll put the little mask on. And it's not necessarily because I have any worry whatsoever. It's only out of, I sense other people have this fear, which is a whole nother conversation. The press and the propaganda and all this stuff is extreme right now. That's news. I have an acronym for news: negative energy without substance. It has amplified the fear. I mean, it's literally taken this OCD situation and amplified it to where it's being like, leprosy. Like, you're not only going to catch it, you're going to die, when the facts don't show that. Chances are you might catch it. But the good news is most of us, 99%, are going to live. Not saying it's going to be great and you're going to be jumping around for joy. It's going to suck. Like a bad flu or like a serious illness, but very, very few people die. And once again, I'm not minimizing this. There are people that have lost family members, and that's extremely sad. I send my condolences to that. But those are mostly the elderly and mostly people with pre-existing conditions. And, well, Tom, oh no, I heard about this one person who's 20 years old. Hey, there are some exceptions, but I'm not worried about it one iota of either getting it. And I'm definitely, to answer that friend's question, am I worried about transmitting it? I don't have it, so no, I have no worries of transmitting it. And I'm taking precautions. I'm making wise choices. I'm not making out with people on the street. I'm not spitting on them. I'm not sneezing on them, and they're not doing that to me either. So all is good, right? And if I do get it, I'm going to suffer for however long that's going to be, but I'll pull through, and so will you in most cases. There's no guarantee. The only guarantee is none of us make it out of here alive. And the only thing I'm spreading is awesomeness. That's it. And all I'm spreading is a conversation. And I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to tell you you shouldn't wear a mask, or you should wear a mask, or you should wear a seatbelt, or you shouldn't wear a seatbelt. That's your choice. And each of the choices that we make come with the opportunity cost of the consequences. Hey, well, Tom did that video. He doesn't do a mask, and now he's got it. Look, he's sick. Haha, I told you it'll happen. But look, I think I'm no scientist, but I've heard like stuff like this, like the chicken pox. You're gonna get it. Chicken pox sucked. You itch, you scratch, all that shit, but you get it and you're over. Right now, this one, I may or may not get it. You may or may not get it. But all I know is a high percentage, like most all, survive. So it's gonna suck. It's gonna be painful, but you pull through. But in the meantime, the other opportunity cost of closing down the economy, what happens not just with the lack of jobs, lack of money. You get people that have more stress, more anxiety, have the inability to put food on the table. That leads to a lot of different things, not to mention higher rate of suicide, not to mention leading to alcohol and drugs, not to mention leading to domestic abuse, all these different things that are going to happen. Those are just the beginning. Add up to what's going to happen with all of the middle class businesses pretty much being pushed out. I mean, this is going to be the biggest ripple that we're going to see. And we've already seen it in the news of so-and-so went bankrupt and so-and-so went bankrupt. Those are the big, well-known companies. What we don't hear about is all of the middle companies. Guess what's happened? Walmart thriving, Amazon thriving, Lowe's, Home Depot thriving. Why? Because they were allowed to be open. Guess who wasn't allowed to be open? The salons, the restaurants, the mom and pop businesses, the solo entrepreneurs, the small town entrepreneurs weren't allowed to be open. They can't even open their doors for business and conduct business. And the effects of that are going to be rampant. So the opportunity cost is very high for something that's very low. And I had a very smart friend of mine, really, really awesomely smart dude, say, well, I remember when the seatbelts were being mandated. And I said, well, time out. Like, we're talking about an OCD type of 99% survival rate where seatbelts is the most dangerous things we as humans can do. I will say this, still on my freedom of being the Marine and being someone who is all about the Constitution, it still doesn't make me happy to have people deem you must wear your seatbelt if you don't want to. Now, you still have that choice, by the way. When you get in your car, and yes, there's the automatic ones and things like that, you still have that choice to either put your seatbelt on or not. I do, because A, I don't like the beeping, and B, I recognize, I've been in some serious car accidents, I recognize the seatbelt is protective. But it's your choice. And guess what? Opportunity cost. If you choose to not have your seatbelt on, there are laws in most states where if the cops see you without your seatbelt on, they'll pull you over and they'll give you a ticket. And it's going to cost you a little bit of money. And you can say, yep, I made the choice, and I'll get the rewards that come with that. But I digress. That's totally different. That's apples and oranges, because the most dangerous thing we do, and I'll post a URL below this video, is get on the highways. And if the news were to put even an iota of attention on the deaths and the people that were put in hospitals from the accidents, we all would have the fear of God and would travel a lot less, because it's one of the absolute most dangerous things we do as humans. But that's just all for all of us to make your own choice. And that's the bottom line. You choose to put your seatbelt on or not. I'm not going to lose an ounce of sleep over it. Well, Tom, you didn't tell that person they had to put their seatbelt on and they got in a wreck. Well, it sucks, but it was their choice. Right? So I'm not here to be the don't wear your mask ever warrior, or wear your mask even when you're sleeping or in the shower warrior. I'm a person that's like, look, it's your life. You live it the way you want to live it. And as long as you're not harming others, I'm cool with that. And similarly, but then, well, Tom, you not wearing your mask is harming others. How? Go back to that question that I was posed. Aren't you concerned about spreading it to others? I don't have it, so I got nothing to spread. So zero worry about that. There's a book called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And if you're worrying in an OCD manner about what other people are going to think, about spreading things that you don't even have, you might want to go get that book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And and I love this person. And the other thing is, this is dividing friendships, right? So that friend unfriended me. And that friend also is an avid bike rider. And I'll just say this. I love riding bikes. I've deemed it as an opportunity cost of, I like it, but I don't want to put my health at risk, my health/life, because riding on the streets, How many people, if you've seen it, the car accidents, the neighbor around the corner from me, 50 some, almost 60 years old, healthy as can be, riding the bike, got run over by some old woman. All the time. That has a way higher percentage of chances of dying than COVID, right? And I'm just calling it what it is. Everything has opportunity costs. And I'm not saying never ride a bike on the street. If that's what you love doing, do it. Do it as safely and as precautionary as possible to not get run over, injured, and killed. But know that it comes with that, and you have to be defensive. Similarly, when we drive, know that that's the most dangerous thing you can do. So try not to be as distracted as many of us get into that rut of feeling like, oh, it's just no big deal. It's a big deal. You're putting yours and others' lives at risk every time you get on the highway. You need to drive defensively and need to protect yourself and the passengers with you and other people on the road. So life is all about opportunity cost. And I hope this puts things in more perspective, but my thing is, look, I saw my mother pass at 52. I saw my father pass at 56. I had a near-death accident, a car accident, rolled 4 times, ejected from the sunroof, laying there for dead, pulled up, saw the whole bright white light experience, was walking towards the bright white lights. Halfway there, I said, stop. This isn't how it's supposed to end. I know you had more for me to accomplish. Send me back. I woke up. I'd been helicopter lifted from that accident to the hospital, woke up with a respirator breathing for me. All I remember is when I woke up and became conscious, it really sucks to have a respirator breathing for you. It hurts really bad. And so I was flailing and all this, and finally they got the respirator out. I had severe head trauma and some nerve damage. I had to learn to speak and to talk and walk again. And since that accident, I recognize my time here is brief. Since watching my mother pass at 52, my dad at 56, this time's brief regardless how long we live. All I'm trying to do is live my life. And in living my life, hopefully it helps share the way I think and how I use opportunity costs. Okay, great. And I discern what's mine to do and what's not mine to do. And I trust it and I go with it regardless of what anybody thinks, what anybody's going to give a thumbs up or thumbs down or, oh, boo you. Hey, guess what? I appreciate your perspective. Thank you for that. And continue living my life. And that's what I hope for you as well. And we will all pull through this. And my hope is some of the truth actually comes out of this, because that's the other thing that we're living in. We live in a day and age where it is super hard. It takes a lot of effort to find the truth. A lot of effort, because it's all a lie. It's all a lie. I don't care what TV channel you watch, what news channel you watch, what side you're on. It's all a lie. It's all agenda based. It all has a purpose. And the purpose isn't in our best interests. It is a corporate, the United States sold out decades ago to corporate America. Just look at what the net worth of the senators and the congressmen and all the elected officials and whatnot, what their net worth was prior to getting in and what their net worth is after they get out. And that tells the whole story. They are in the pockets of the corporations. The corporate pulls the strings. The decisions are made based upon money, not about what's in my best interest or your best interest. That's just the rough, raw. I hate to tell you, Santa isn't real. Uncle Sam isn't either. Uncle Sam's been raping me and you and all of our loved ones for decades. And this is coming from someone who served in the United States Marine Corps to protect the Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic. And it is very clear and evident that we don't have as many foreign enemies as we do internal enemies. And they're profiting from manipulation. They're profiting from their lies, regardless of which side you fall on. So I'm not here, that's a whole different topic that we'll dive into. But this part is just stepping back. Look, we'll all get through this. And guess what? Some are going to get sick. Some are going to have loved ones move on and pass on. None of us make it out of here alive. There's 150,000 people that die every day. I want to make sure I live while I can. And my hope is that you live while you can as well. Hopefully this was inspiring. I'm going to get back to all the other things that I have to do now. And stay tuned. There's much more coming. I've recognized that it's enough of the lies. The lies, they've been going on for too long. I'm not going to leave this place in a worse place for my kids than when I got here. And so far, I recognize I've done a shitty job, and I think our generation's done a shitty job of allowing the lies to continue, allowing the corruption to continue, and I'm stepping up to shed some truth. Some will see it, some won't. That's okay. I love you all. Talk with you soon. Make today great.